TED Talks by Ted Schwerzler is brought to you by Bunyan Communications, providing fiber optic fast internet up to 10 gigabytes, TV, voice, IT, and their certified Apple Service Center. They're serving the Bemidji and Grand Rapids area since 1952.
Ted Schwerzler here for TED Talks Twins at TL Schwerz, Twins Daily, OffTheBaggy. It's been a bit of a mixed bag for the Twins over the last week. Welcoming in the Dodgers to Minnesota, kicking off a very highly anticipated series last week. Obviously, Los Angeles is one of the premier teams in baseball, expected to win the World Series, and they did really show a level of dominance over Minnesota last week. The Twins kept themselves in it. Byron Buxton made an amazing catch on Monday night to keep that game close. They did end up losing that one 4-2, lost on Tuesday 6-3, and then did pull out a win in a game that felt like they were managing to keep things, I guess, interesting, but also very close. It felt like a postseason type of management style in which the Twins were just clinging to that one-run lead, and if they had given that up, they probably weren't going to come back. But did get one from the Dodgers, then went to Detroit, and should have been in a spot where they found themselves winning 3 of 4. Unfortunately, Sunday's contest featured an ugly 8th inning. Kyle Farmer made a horrible misplay on defense, and the Twins dropped that one 4-3. So they ended up splitting a series against a Tigers team that did come in with a better record. Minnesota had a chance to even their record at 500 and instead fell to 6-8. On Monday against Baltimore, Louis Varland has really been going through it to start the season. Just way too many middle pitches. It looks like the stuff is still there. The stuff plays. He looked great out of the bullpen last year, but the way that he is attacking hitters wouldn't work in relief. It doesn't work as a starter. He just needs to find different locations at this point. Way too many counts where he's ahead or with 2 strikes and just finds himself playing into the batter's hand. Gave up home runs again on Monday night. Jose Miranda did hit his first home run of the year. Ryan Jeffers continues to look the part of a catcher that is one of the better ones in baseball. He had a great spring, a little bit slow to come out of the gate this year, but he has been a bright spot for the Twins. The rest of the way this week, the Twins should be in a spot where they could potentially take the final 2 from Baltimore, having Pablo Lopez start, having Chris Paddock start. They will face Grayson Rodriguez on Tuesday, and they will also then see former Rule 5 pick Tyler Wells on Wednesday. They do have their only off day of the rest of the month on Thursday before coming back home and facing Detroit again, which with just 13 games against your divisional opponents this season as opposed to the previous 18 before the schedule changes, the Twins will have played 7 games against Detroit already by the end of the month, actually by the end of the weekend. So establishing a level of competitiveness against that team and also having a positive record against them would be a big boost to kick the year off. Last year they did have a losing record against Detroit. So it's a big weekend for Minnesota. Really need to iron things out. It sounds like the Carlos Correa injury suffered last week is going to be on the shorter side of things, which is definitely a bonus. We're still not close to seeing Royce Lewis back. Brooks Lee is probably another 3 or so weeks before he's in game action at AAA St. Paul. So the injury front still continues to bite Minnesota. They did get Caleb Thielbar back over the weekend. Josh Staumont could be an option. He's still working on a rehab assignment with the Saints through this week. And John Duran is somebody that should be in the picture here in the next couple that would help pave the way. So see you next week.